Okay, so in continuation of our IoT series, today we are going to study about in-depth detail about Arduino, uh, various type of Arduino implementation, about boards, their working. So this is the flow of our today's lecture. We will discuss about what Arduino is, use of Arduino, types of Arduino boards, Arduino Uno, Arduino Mega, Nano, Mini, Micro, LilyPad. We will discuss about that. Okay. And what is the basic working of that, where we should prefer to use Node MCU, where we have to use Arduino Uno board or Raspberry Pi, etc. Okay. So what Arduino is basically open source hardware. See, whenever we are going to design any board, any kind of circuit, we need to test it on a, you can say, you need to test it on a temporary circuit. Okay. So for implementing your idea in a product, you need to test it on a particular prototype model. Okay. So this Arduino board is nothing but a prototype of your product, whatever you are going to design. Okay. So the Arduino board is an open source, that is all hardware made by Arduino distributor, had a schematic and PCB layout available online. So you can change it as per your requirement, test it as per your product specification. Okay. It has an open source bootloader. See, whenever you boot any chip or any programmable device, it has its own bootloader program. So what bootloader program does, it just initialize its peripherals, its input output devices, etc. So all these kind of things, all these kind of processing generally done by bootloader program. So the bootloader program of this Arduino is also an open source. So again, you can change it as per your requirement, as per your specification. So whenever you power on your Arduino board, it first load its bootloader. Then after initialize its all the peripheral, all the chips, it jumps to your program and run your program as per your instruction. Okay. It's a open source development board. All the libraries, all the software, all the components used to program this board is available online. There are some basic terminology of this Arduino. IO board. IO board is nothing. It's a facility. It's a feature provide to you to control a hardware with the use of software. So the basically IO board is the brain of your operation. That is a microcontroller is provided for you. Arduino use Atmel microprocessor. Atmel is a company. Okay, so Arduino use Atmel series microcontroller, which is the brain of your Arduino board. What shield means? Shield are basically some expansion slot given to you so that you can connect any external module, external functionality with your Arduino board. Okay, for example, if you want to connect GPS module, GPS functionality to your Arduino board, then for this you have to buy a GPS shield. Okay, so this GPS shield is compatible with the pin structure of your Arduino board. So you have to do nothing, just connect the male and female connector of your Arduino board with this shield. So it's become quite easy to interface with any third party module. So shield are nothing. Shield are just the expansion slot that can be directly connected with your Arduino board. Okay. Sketch. Sketch is a program generally written in C language, C or C++ language, which get burned on your Arduino IDE board and make enable your shield and other IO component to make work upon your Arduino board. Sensor, what sensor is, you have an in-depth study about sensors, various kind of sensor in the previous classes, so I'm just going to skip all these things. Modules are nothing, they are just external component that can be interact with your Arduino board to make some special functionality. As previously I have just make an example of GPS module to get the reading of GPS data. Pins are basically an interface provided to you to connect any circuit, external circuit or your device with your Arduino board. So pins are nothing, they are just an interface with the Arduino board. Okay. Digital is the digital value that you get from any input device, that can be either high or low or +5 to 0 volt, or you can say 1 or 0. Okay, this it's again a logic implementation. Okay, digital is nothing, it's just a logical implementation of your program. Okay. So whatever you will say this pin is a digital pin, it means the output of this pin will always be 0 1 or +5 0 volt or high or low. So again, counterpart of this is analog. So whenever you say this pin is analog, it means the output of this pin will always be of analog type. Not actually analog, but the nature of this is always be of analog. As in previous class, yesterday class, I have just discussed about the analog pin and have just told you about ADC, that is analog to digital converter. So what analog to digital converter does, whenever you provide any analog input to your Arduino board, the analog pin is directly connected with your ADC, that is analog to digital converter. This ADC generally convert the output of your analog device that is directly connected with the analog pin of your Arduino board. So whatever input the Arduino board get is directly feed to this ADC, and this ADC convert your analog input, analog value to its compatible digital value. So the output of this pin is directly proportional to this digital value, which range from 0 to 255. Okay. So just wait for a while. These are the different kind of Arduino boards. Just read this slide. Okay. So the Arduino Uno is the microcontroller board based on Atmega 328P. It is the IC, microcontroller IC, that implant in Arduino Uno board. It is a 14 digital input output pins. It means how many digital output device we can connect, digital peripherals we can connect, 14 digital peripherals we can connect. Okay. So out of 14 pins, 6 pins are used for PWM. Okay, PWM means pulse width modulation. What pulse width modulation means, we will discuss later on. And it has 6 analog input and has a 16 megahertz quartz crystal. Okay, it is basically the quartz crystal basically used to generate frequencies. Okay, so have you heard about the clock frequency or the instruction cycle of any microcontroller? Have you heard about this? So the instruction cycle is nothing, is just the time duration to execute a particular instruction in a given time slot. Okay, so this is known as instruction cycle. So this instruction cycle is basically calculated from this, the frequency of this quartz crystal, which is connected to your Arduino Uno microcontroller. Okay, so the Arduino Uno has 16 megahertz quartz crystal to generate frequency, or this frequency is used to execute the instruction. This frequency is used to identify the time used to execute a instruction in a particular given time. A USB connection, a power jack, and ICSP header. Okay, the header to connect external devices with your Arduino board, known as ICSP header. Okay, and a reset button. It also contains everything needed to be supported on microcontroller. Simply you have to connect with your computer and USB board to supply. You have to do nothing. Whenever you want to use your Arduino board, you have to just connect the USB pin to your Arduino board, and the reverse part of your, the second end of your USB cable with your PC. So using this USB cable, you can control as well as power on your Arduino board. Or if you want to give supply from the external circuit, for example, you want to give supply from a DC adapter or a battery, there are also interfaces given for that. Okay. So this is the schematic of your Arduino Uno board, on which all these components can be clearly visible here. These are the ICSP headers. You can see easily. These headers are used to connect with the external world, external devices. It is the USB plug-in interface by which you can connect your Arduino board with a computer, either to power on the device or to control this Arduino board with your computer. Okay. Again, to supply from the external circuit, you are given a DC power supply interface. Using a DC adapter, you can give power supply to this board. Okay. This is the heart of, or you can say the brain of this Arduino board. It is the microcontroller, 8MEGA328 series microcontroller, which does all the complicated tasks. Okay. These are the 6 analog pins ranging from 0 to 5. It means how many analog devices we can connect? Maximum 6 devices in parallel we can connect. This is the voltage input pin. Using this pin, we can also supply the voltage to this Arduino board. These two are for grounding purpose. Ground pins are there. This pin, 5-volt pin. By this pin, we can get 5 volt as a output. Okay. This Arduino board also have some output port by which we can get the output supply. Okay. So if you want to interface any external device with this Arduino board, and suppose if this device required 5-volt input to get its to power on its own circuit, then we have to just connect this 5-volt output with the VCC input of the device. Okay. So by using this pin, we can directly power on the external device. So it's a 5-volt output pin. Again, yesterday I have already told you that it has a 3.3-volt pin. By using this pin, we can connect, we can give power supply to Node MCU, because the Node MCU is the dedicated microcontroller, a so dedicated microcontroller, because it's required 3.3 voltage as an input. Okay, if the input voltage higher than this 3.3 volt, even 3.4 volt, it will, the IC of this Node MCU will get burned out. So you can imagine how sophisticated this Node MCU is. Okay, so to connect the Node MCU or to supply power to Node MCU, we have to connect this 3.3 volt pin to Node MCU power supply. Okay. To reset this Arduino board, there is a pin is given. By using this pin, we can reset the board. Or using this push button, we can again reset the board. So there are two interfaces given for the setting purpose. For serial communication, we are given these three pairs. Using these three pairs, we can communicate serially. Okay, and these group of pins are given for digital communication. For example, if you want to connect with any digital hardware or digital device, we can connect with these 2 to 13 pins for external circuitry. Again, this is pin for grounding purpose. A REF is basically analog reference pin. This reference pin can be also used for digital connection. Okay. So in yesterday class, some of your students might confused about what this tilde sign means. This tilde sign means nothing. Just they are indicating these digital pins are having the capability of PWM, that is called pulse width modulation. Okay, so this pulse width modulation, what is using this you can control the suppose if you have connected a LED across your this 11 pin, which support PWM, that is pulse width modulation. If you suppose connect a LED across 11 pin and a ground, you have connected a LED, then brightness of this LED can be controlled using this pulse width modulation signals. Okay, so I can you can say, in other words, the voltage supplied across this PWM pins can be controlled programmatically. Okay, so this is the use of PWM pins. So generally, PWM pins are used for controlling external devices like motors, servo motors, DC motors, speed direction of DC motors, servo motors. Generally, these PWM pins used for these purposes. There are a single pin, a pair of single pin is given, RX and TX, used for serial communication. Okay, suppose you want to connect two Arduino and you make serial communication in between these two devices. So using these RX and TX terminal, you can make communication between these two Arduino boards. So at a one time, one Arduino board will be configured as a master and other one can be configured as a slave device. So using these two pins, using a pair of these pins, you can make serial communication with a serial enabled device. Okay. So if as far as Arduino Uno is concerned, these are the configuration, or you can say technical specification of Arduino Uno board. All the things I have already discussed and explicitly specified in my previous slide. Okay. So again, Arduino Mega board is the further expansion of Arduino Uno board. And what the difference between Arduino Uno and Arduino Mega is, only the pin differences lies there. Whereas in the case of Arduino Uno, there are 14 digital input output pins and 6 analog input pins are there. Whereas in the case of Arduino Mega, we have a vast number of pins, particularly digital, and in the case of analog, we have 16 analog input pins. Okay, in the case of Uno, there are only 6 pins are there, whereas in the case of Mega, we have 16 analog inputs. It means how many devices we can connect in parallel. If particular suppose analog devices are there, we can connect 16 analog devices, 16 analog sensors in the case of Mega board. Okay, and for 54 digital pins are there, so you can imagine how multiple devices, multiple sensors can be connected with a Mega board. Okay, for UART board, for serial communication, again same 16 megahertz crystal oscillator is there, so there is no difference between the timing diagram of or you can say instruction cycle of your Arduino Mega board. The same same frequency crystal oscillator is given here. So only the difference is in between the pin diagram, or you can say the pin description of your Arduino Mega, it differentiates from Uno board. So this is the pictorial representation of your Arduino Mega. Again, the same DC power supply USB connection is there. The pin headers are different from Uno board because there are a lot of digital pins are there, as well as analog pins are again differs from Arduino Uno board. Okay, the same number of ICSP pins are there. Okay, again Arduino Nano is used for small computing purpose. Okay, it has a less number of digital input or output pins, less number of analog input pins. So only where a less number of external devices used to connect with your Arduino board, then at that particular location, at that particular moment, we need to use Arduino Nano board. Okay. So this is the again pictorial diagram of your Arduino Nano board. So you can see the number of analog pins, how many analog pins are there, how many digital pins are there, how many serial pins are there. So again, we have constraint as per the processing capability, as per the number of sensors we are with which we are working, the dimensions of your sensors, gateway. Again, these are the constraints by which, by keeping all these in our mind, we decide what particular kind of Arduino configuration we need to use in our project. Okay. The next one is Arduino Mini. Again, it's have a constraint in the term of size and pins. 14 pins are used for digital input output purpose. 6 of them are of PWM and 8 pins are of analog pins. Okay. Working wise, all these are same. Programming wise, all these are same. There is nothing different rather than the pin description, number of pins, and working of pins. Okay. So these are the analog pins, A0 to A3. These again 4 are the digital pins with the collaboration of these 7 pins. Again, these are for transmitting and receiving purpose. 2 pairs are there. One pair is here and one pair is here. It means parallelly we can transmit, we can communicate with 2 devices along with this master device. Okay, 2 pair of RxTx pins are here. Okay. Arduino Micro, again it has a limited power consumption and limited in terms of pin and analog and digital pins. This is the schematic of Arduino Micro, and the last one is Arduino LilyPad. This is the Arduino LilyPad, quite compact and generally used for robotic purpose, where the size of robot is quite small. For example, if you want to make a robotic butterfly, in that particular case, this Arduino LilyPad quite suit to your environment. Okay. So again, the type of problem, type of product you are going to design, you are going to simulate, are the constraint which define the use of particular Arduino board. Okay. These are the specification of your Arduino LilyPad. So now we are going to discuss some technical aspect of this Arduino development board, the architecture of Arduino development board. So if you want to connect your Arduino and use to Arduino for programming purpose, what you just need an Arduino board, a USB cable, and you have to connect this USB cable with computer and Arduino board and some kind of USB driver, compatible driver to communicate and make communication enable with your Arduino board. So later on, I will discuss and tell you about how can we download and configure the Arduino board and how can we use the uh, Arduino IDE interface to communicate with Arduino board and a PC. Later on, we have a practical session for that in a separate. So these are the typical example of shield. Various kind of shields are there. For example, for enable wireless communication, we have a wireless network shield. If you can see the structure of this shield, it is quite compatible with Arduino Uno board. If you see the location of the pins, these are quite compatible with the Arduino Uno. So I can say that if I have a wireless network shield and have a Arduino Uno board, this this wireless network shield can be easily fixed with the Arduino board. Okay. Again, this is a color LCD shield. This is a kind of GPS module. GPS shield is there. Power driver shield is there. Power driver is generally used to control a DC motor. Okay. For example, if you want to make a drone in which you want to control the speed of DC motor, so in that case you need a power driver shield. Okay. Because if you have a closer look to drone, whenever you want to give a uplift to your drone, you have to just make the rotating speed of your DC motor from slow to fast. So in that particular moment, this power driver shield provide uh, the output voltage ranging from 0 to 5 volt or 0 to 9 volt, depend on your again your type of motor. So with the variation in this voltage, the speed of the motor get controlled by this power driver. Again, for making communication enable, there are again some kind of shields are there. For example, for having a cable connection, or you can say Ethernet connection, you have a Ethernet shield. For a wireless connection, again, there is a Zigbee module, Zigbee shields are there. Wi-Fi shields are there for making wireless enable. Okay. As far as modules are concerned, there are some external hardwares are there. For example, there is a GPS module by which you can connect to your GPS satellites and get your GPS heading. So this is a GPS module. With the help of these cables, you can connect your GPS module with your Arduino board. Again, this is a Bluetooth module which provide a Bluetooth interface to your Arduino board. You can, using this Bluetooth module, you can communicate with your Arduino board. These are the some kind of sensors. For example, typically there is a temperature and humidity sensor is given. The name of this sensor is DHT11 sensor. Okay. If you are going in the market and tell the particular vendor that I want a temperature or humidity sensor, then you have to tell the exact series of the sensor. There are two popular sensors are available, particularly for measuring temperature and humidity. The first one is DHT11 and second is DHT22. So working wise, there is a slight difference. So for your practical implementation, you can buy any of the modules. There is nothing difference operationally. So practically, there is no difference in between these two, DHT11 and DHT22. Again, RFID module is there if you want to do any RFID kind of processing, interfacing with RFID cards. We have RFID modules. Again, for temperature and humidity, again some kind of SST15 shield is there. Gas sensor, you have for detecting any kind of gas, you have gas sensors. Fingerprint scanners are there, flex sensors are there, photoregisters. This is a particular typical example of gyroscope, or you can no, it's not a gyroscope. basically it's the accelerometer. Okay, in your mobile phone, if you have heard about uh, you can see the rotation speed of your mobile phone, or you can say if you have a mobile, if you tilt it slightly, your mobile compass of your mobile phone get rotated. Okay, so using this accelerometer or gyroscope, the hardware of, or you can say the microprocessor of your mobile phone get actuated or get the reading about the deviation of the position from the last one. It calculates its alignment from the horizontal and vertical axis. So particular for getting the motion sensing, we need accelerometer. So this is a typical example of accelerometer sensor. Okay. So these are the various kind of sensors available here. Infrared sensor, force resistive sensor. It's a basically force resistive sensors. Piezoelectric sensors, tilt sensors. It's a tilt sensor. Okay. Tilt sensor means it defines the alignment of your device. Or in short way, you can say accelerometer sensor. Again, Arduino Uno board we have discussed already, so I'm just going to skip this slide. This is the circuit representation of your Arduino board. So you can see how this 8 mega 358 IC is connected to various components, various pins like to your USB, to your analog pins, to your digital pins. These are the particular IC pin description of your Arduino board. Okay, so on your whole Arduino Uno circuit, or you can say Arduino Uno uh, uh, block, all this circuit is implemented there. Okay, so if I have a Arduino Atmega 168.328 microcontroller, and using some component like 16 mega crystal oscillator to provide clock speed. This is the 16 megahertz crystal oscillator. If you see it, the oval shaped steel structure, so it denotes the 16 megahertz crystal oscillator. So by having a connection from this circuit, we have a circuit that is quite similar to your Arduino Uno board. Okay. So using breadboard, you can also define your, you can also implement your Arduino Uno board. So this is the 8 mega IC, 8 mega 328 IC. It is the, in the picture, it is representing 168. 168 is again a series of microcontroller, but for Arduino Uno or Arduino Mega, we generally use 8 mega 328 IC. So it have a preloaded bootloader program on its memory. So whenever you power on this Arduino board, the bootloader of Arduino 8 mega 328 get boot itself and initialize all its peripherals. So as I've already told you that this is the crystal oscillator which provide the pulses, or you can say frequency, to your Arduino board. So it can be assumed as a heartbeat to your 8 mega chip. So as the heartbeat of a human being define its lifetime, again in the same manner this crystal oscillator define the execution time, or you can say the lifetime of the Arduino Uno Mega board. It's also termed as a crystal oscillator. Okay. So again, in the previous session, I have already told you that the Arduino board have 5 volt and 3.3 power supply. So for controlling the voltage as well as for current, it has a voltage and current regulators. Okay, so that whenever you provide any kind of voltage, rather it's exceeding from 5 volt or 3.3 volt, it get automatically regulated by these regulator ICs. Okay, so on board there are some regulators are there for regulating voltage as well as current. For example, in the previous case, we have just have a closer look towards 3.3 volt output pins. So at that pin, we can assume that the 5 volt is directly connected with the voltage regulator, which typically provide 3.3 volt as the output. So it's a typical diagram of voltage regulator, which provide a conversion of 5 volt to 3.3 regulated output supply. So these are the FPDI USB pin for serial communication, for providing serial communication. These are the ICs which enable serial communication in your Arduino. These are the headers, circuit board, which provide fabrication of your all these Arduino Mega, Arduino Uno component on a single chip. So what digital means, what analog means, for electronics and computer science student, it is already been clear. But for first year student, it can be seen as whenever we talk about digital, it means we have on and off state. Two state are there. One is on and off. On means 0 volt is supplied, and off means sorry, on means plus 5 volt is there, and off means 0 volt is there. So you can say the input in the case of, particularly in the case of digital, input is always be ranging from 0 to 1, like in this manner. These rectangular pulses are representing here the digital form of your input. Whereas in the case of analog, you have a sinusoidal wave which are representing the variation of your input voltage from negative to positive limit. Here we have given an example of minus 200 to plus 200, but it can vary from a certain range, which again depend on your input voltage. So this is the typical example of your analog signal, and this is the example of your digital signal. So IO pins, as far as IO pins are concerned, we have these digital IO pins by which we can connect with a digital hardware, digital output providing hardware, external hardware. And for connecting with analog circuit, we have analog pins. Yes, I hope things are very clear to you what digital means, what digital interfacing means, and what analog interfacing means. Okay. Later on, we have a close discussion about what pin mode is, what digital. These are the basically instruction which are generally used to connect with any digital or analog device. In the programmatical part, we will have a closer look with all these kind of instructions. So I'm just going to skip all these instructions because later on we will have a in-depth detail about that. So I'm just going to skip this again in the same manner. So yes, one thing that should be noted that in Arduino board there is a pull-up register. There is a concept of pull-up register. Okay, so previously I have told you that any digital pin can be configured as an input. At the same time, it can also be configured as an output pin. So a single pin can be programmatically configured as an input or output purpose. So with the help of these pull-up registers, this conversion can be taken place. So what is the phenomena of this pull-up register? For example, if this 3 pin is configured as a pin 0 as an input pin. For example, if I have do not connect any external connection with this 3 pin, and if I uh, got the reading at the at particular time, what will be the reading at pin 3 at time duration? Maybe due to external interference or due to fluctuation in the voltage, these 3 pin maybe appear as logic 1, but I have do not connect any interface, or I have do not connect any external hardware with this. Okay, so it may be the situation कि suppose आपने कोई यहाँ external device connect नहीं कर रखी है, but फिर भी आपने यहाँ से input को check किया और आपको one output मिल गया. Typically one output is a error situation because आपने यहाँ कोई logic implement नहीं किया. यहाँ पे कोई device जब connect ही नहीं किए तो यहाँ पर one output कैसे आ सकता है? Okay, but जैसे कि मैंने बताया कि ड्यू टू वोल्टेज फ्लक्चुएशन और ड्यू टू आउटसाइड इंटरफेरेंस इट मे बी द केस. ऐसा हो सकता है कि आपने यहाँ कुछ इनपुट नहीं दिया बट फिर भी आउटपुट आपका 1 आ जाए ड्यू टू वोल्टेज फ्लक्चुएशंस, क्योंकि ये पिंस काफी पास पास में होती है, तो किसी एक पर्टिकुलर पिन का वोल्टेज फ्लक्चुएट होकर पास वाले पे एज इंटरफेरेंस क्रिएट कर सकता है. सो इन दैट सिचुएशन व्हाट वी डू, वी हैव अ पुल अप रजिस्टर. ठीक है, एक रजिस्टर है, एक रजिस्टर ना करके इसको एक मैं स्विच कहता हूँ. ये स्विच उस केस में क्या करता है, इस थर्ड पिन को डायरेक्टली कनेक्ट कर देता है ग्राउंड से. ओके, सो वेन एवर इफ यू कनेक्ट एनी एक्सटर्नल device with that pin, and if this device give 1 as an input, then will only this 1 get appear at the third pin. If there is no one logic implementation given by this device, this 0 volt, that is we have directly short circuit with this pin with ground, so this 0 volt is directly floating from this pin third to your microcontroller. So in that situation, if there is no reading from your device, then the reading at pin 3 will always be 0. ठीक है, तो पुल अप रजिस्टर को इंप्लीमेंट करने से क्या हो गया, अगर जैसे आपने पुल अप रजिस्टर लगाया, अगर यहाँ पर डिवाइस से अगर रीडिंग आ रही है तो वो डिवाइस की रीडिंग आपके यहाँ फ्लोट होकर आएगी. अगर डिवाइस से कोई रीडिंग नहीं आ रही है तो डायरेक्टली, क्योंकि आपने इस पिन को शॉर्ट कर रखा है, ग्राउंड कर रखा है, तो डायरेक्ट 0 वोल्ट यहाँ पर आएगा. तो पुल अप रजिस्टर का मेन कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है कि जो रीडिंग है उनको फ्रूटफुल बनाना और एक ही डायरेक्शन पे मेक श्योर करना कि आपका जो डेटा है वो एक ही डायरेक्शन के अंदर फ्लो हो रहा है. ओके, so again these are the pin description of your Arduino board. We in for providing input voltage. Just a moment. Yes, we in for providing input voltage. 5 volt is a regulated power supply. You always get 5 volt, regulated 5 volt at that pin. Again, if you connect if you give 9 volt as a power input to this board using voltage regulated IC, again you will always get 5 volt here rather than 9 volt. Okay. Again, 3.3 volt can be obtained here using with the help of regulated IC with the ground pin. So it's all about your Arduino 8 mega 328 microcontroller, your microcontroller board. So day after tomorrow we will have again a closer look about serial communication, how serial communication can be take place in Arduino Uno board, and on the same day we will try to configure Arduino IDE and able to connect Arduino board with our computer system. Okay, so for today's class I think that's all, and that's sufficient to you all. These are some slides are remaining, but it have some brushing up, require some brushing up session of your Arduino board. So I will take all these serial communication, parallel communication, software serial, all this kind of remaining topics I will cover in my next lecture. So now it's the time for your side. Now, any queries there, you can ask to me.
Yes, sir. I have a query.
Nitin.
Sir, I didn't understand about sealed. Sir, what is difference between module and sealed?
See, shield module is basically intended for providing any particular functionality. Okay. For example, if you have a GPS module is intended to provide you GPS kind of functionality. It will provide you your GPS reading of your current location. Okay. तो बेसिकली जो सर्किट है, जो मॉड्यूल बेसिकली डिफाइन द सर्किट implementation of your particular logic. Whereas the shield is basically provide the compatibility or the interfacing of your this GPS module with your hardware. Okay. मैं एक डायग्राम से मैं एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ, वो बहुत इजी वे में तुम समझ जाओगे कि एक्चुअल में दोनों में डिफरेंस क्या है. कैन यू सी इट? ये आपका एक जीपीएस मॉड्यूल आपको पिक्चराइज हो रहा है. कैन यू सी द स्लाइड?
यस सर.
ओके. तो ये आपका देखो एक चिप दिखा रखा है, सिंपल सा एक चिप या सर्किट आपको बता रखा है कि एक डिवाइस है, इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ सेंसर. आई कैन अज्यूम इट्स एज अ सेंसर. तो ये आपका एक सेंसर है जो विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस केबल यू कैन कनेक्ट दिस सेंसर विद योर हार्डवेयर. ओके. बट दिक्कत ये, सपोज करो इसको मैंने कनेक्ट कर दिया RxTx पिन से. ठीक है. अब मेरे बोर्ड पर RxTx पिन कितनी है?
दो. एक
पिन. ठीक है ना, सिंगल पेयर है. अब सपोज उसी RxTx पिन से मुझे किसी और को भी कनेक्ट करना है, कैसे करूंगा मैं? इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल.
यस सर.
ठीक है. बट इफ आई हैव अ शील्ड फॉर एग्जांपल लाइक दिस, तो सपोज इस RxTx को मैंने यहाँ कनेक्ट कर दिया, मगर अगेन उस RxTx से इंटरफेस करने के लिए मेरे पास देखो ऊपर पिन आ जाती है. आ गई ये पिन वापस, हेडर मेरे पास मिल गए ऊपर. So I can connect or I can use the remaining pins or even this pin also for implementing particular my logic. तो केवल शील्ड एक बेसिक सर्किट प्रोवाइड कराता है, एक यू कैन से एक प्रोटेक्शन प्रोवाइड कराता है, एक इंटरफेस प्रोवाइड कराता है कि आप रिमेनिंग पिंस को आप फर्दर यूज में ले सकते हैं पर्टिकुलर आपके पर्पस के लिए. तो दिस इज द जीपीएस शील्ड, जिसमें आप देख रहे हो ये हार्डवेयर यहाँ लगा हुआ है. ठीक है. जबकि ये जीपीएस एक्चुअल हार्डवेयर आपका ये है. शील्ड और हार्डवेयर में जस्ट डिफरेंस यही है. मॉड्यूल में आपने शील्ड में ये डिफरेंस है, मॉड्यूल आप पर्टिकुलर किसी सर्किट को डिफाइन करते हैं, जबकि शील्ड आपका उस आर्डिनो बोर्ड का कंपेटिबल एक सर्किट है जो आपको इंटरफेस प्रोवाइड करा रहा है फर्दर कम्युनिकेशन के लिए, फर्दर इंटरकनेक्शन के लिए या फर्दर इंटरफेसिंग के लिए. ठीक है. ताकि आपकी पिंस है वो हाइड ना हो, पिंस को आप फर्दर यूटिलाइज कर सकें.
ओके.
एनी मोर क्वेरी?
सर ये मॉड्यूल हमें नहीं मिल सकते?
क्या चीज?
सर ये मॉड्यूल हमें नहीं मिल सकते?
मॉड्यूल में भी मिल सकते हैं, मगर मॉड्यूल में तुम्हें मैनुअल कनेक्शन करने पड़ेंगे, और उस केस में तुम्हें एक पीसीबी के ऊपर ये सारे सर्किट कनेक्शन बनाने पड़ेंगे.
सर ये पीपीटी नहीं मिल सकता?
ये पीपीटी मिल जाएगा, मैं इसको शेयर कर दूंगा ग्रुप के अंदर. व्हेनेवर आई यूजुअली टेक क्लास आई शेयर द पीपीटीज पोस्ट द क्लास. ठीक है. जैसे मेरी क्लास ओवर होती है मैं इन पीपीटीज को शेयर कर देता हूँ. तो इस ग्रुप के अंदर आप बने रहें. तो जैसे मेरी क्लास ओवर होगी आपको इसकी रिकॉर्डिंग भी यूट्यूब पे मिल जाएगी, पीपीटीज भी आपको मिल जाएगी.
ओके.
ठीक है. यस यतेंद्र.
So I have a question, sir. So where we use flex sensor and RFID sensor?
Where we use
flex sensor and RFID sensor.
lag sensor.
Flex.
Okay, flex sensor.
Yes, sir.
Flex sensor and RFID use of these all to these sensor is quite similar. You can see basically flex sensor is generally used for you can say, how can I define that? हेलो हेलो
Yes, sir.
हेलो, हाँ, कैन यू लिसन टू
Yes,
मी?
sir. Hello.
यस, तो फ्लैग सेंसर
Yes, sir.
बेसिकली एक यूं कह सकते हो कि फ्लैग सेंसर जो है वो एक बेटर वियरेबल कंडीशन के अंदर होते हैं, जहां तुम्हें मतलब ज्यादा बेटर आउटपुट चाहिए या ज्यादा प्रिसाइज आउटपुट चाहिए, वहां पर फ्लैग सेंसर यूज होंगे, बिकॉज दे आर मेड ऑफ कार्बन कंपोनेंट्स की इसके ऊपर एक स्ट्राइप होती है, और उससे आपका पता लगता है कि आपका कितना रेजिस्टेंस वेरी हो रहा है।
मतलब फिल्टर्ड आउटपुट हमें प्रोवाइड करते हैं।
हाँ, जैसे आईआर सेंसर बेसिकली, आईआर में क्या होता है कि जैसे आपके इंटरफेरेंस इफेक्ट काफी ज्यादा होता है, तो आईआर नॉट ए गुड प्रैक्टिकल सॉल्यूशन, इसीलिए अपन फ्लैग सेंसर को प्रेफर करते हैं, जहां मुझे एक्यूरेट या प्रिसाइज आउटपुट चाहिए वहां मैं फ्लैग सेंसर्स का यूज करूंगा।
तो RF
रजिस्टिविटी है वो काफी इजी वे के अंदर, क्योंकि कार्बन फिल्टर्स में यूज में ले रहा हूँ, कार्बन के कंपोनेंट्स यूज में ले रहा हूँ, तो रजिस्टिविटी बहुत इजीली आइडेंटिफाई की जाती है, काफी एक्यूरेट मैनर में कैलकुलेट की जा सकती है। जबकि आईआर के केस में ऐसा नहीं होता, क्योंकि आपकी जो आईआर है वो डिपेंड करता है आईआर रेस के ऊपर, अगेन उसमें इंटरफेरेंस इफेक्ट आते हैं। तो लेबोरेटरी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से अपन फ्लैग सेंसर्स की बात नहीं करते हैं, लेबोरेटरी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से अपन नॉर्मली आईआर के ऊपर ही जाते हैं, क्योंकि फ्लैग सेंसर आपके थोड़े से कॉस्टली पड़ते हैं। बट जब कभी आप किसी
वो
प्रैक्टिकल किसी
प्रेजेंस
प्रोडक्ट,
कितनी मालूम करने के लिए यूज होता है?
क्या चीज?
सर जैसे IR सेंसर भी किसी की ह्यूमन की प्रेजेंस को, ऑब्जेक्ट की प्रेजेंस को बताता है, तो ये फ्लैग सेंसर भी किसी प्रेजेंस को बताने के लिए यूज
वो
होता
तो
हाँ,
PIR सेंसर का यूज करेंगे ना।
पीआईआर, दैट इज पीआईआर, ये बेसिकली रजिस्टिविटी बताने के लिए
PIR
यूज
अलग
में
होता
आता
है।
है। फ्लैग सेंसर रजिस्टिविटी बताने के लिए यूज में आते हैं।
है। ओके सर।
हेलो हेलो,
यस सर।
आई थिंक मैं डिस्कनेक्ट हो
हेलो।
गया था नेटवर्क की प्रॉब्लम के कारण। हाँ, तो मैं ये कह रहा था कि नॉर्मली जो फ्लैग सेंसर्स है वो रजिस्टिविटी बताने के लिए यूज में आते हैं, कि रजिस्टिविटी क्या है किसी भी चीज की, ठीक है। जबकि आईआर सेंसर का मीनिंग ये नहीं है कि मैं किसी की प्रेजेंस बता रहा हूँ। आईआर सेंसर के अगेन प्रैक्टिकल इंप्लीमेंटेशन बहुत सारे हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल आईआर सेंसर से मैं किसी का रिफ्लेक्टिव इंडेक्स कैलकुलेट कर सकता हूँ, आईआर सेंसर से मैं किसी कलर को आइडेंटिफाई कर सकता हूँ। आईआर सेंसर का बहुत मल्टीपल यूज है, ठीक है। मैं केवल एक लेमन डेफिनेशन में ये डिफाइन नहीं कर सकता कि आईआर को पर्टिकुलरली केवल प्रेजेंस डिफाइन करने के लिए यूज नहीं होता, ठीक है। आईआर डिफाइन करता है आईआर को आप किस प्रैक्टिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से यूज में ले रहे हैं, ठीक है। आईआर तो बेसिकली एक इंफ्रारेड टर्म है, अब इंफ्रारेड को आप किस प्रैक्टिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू के लिए यूज में लेंगे, अगेन डिपेंड ऑन योर सॉल्यूशन, ठीक है। तो ऐसे सेम रजिस्टिविटी के लिए, जहां मुझे
ओके
रजिस्टिविटी
सर।
लेनी है,
ओके।
फॉर एग्जांपल मुझे टच सेंसर कैलकुलेट करना है, मुझे वाटर लेवल कैलकुलेट करना है, तो वहां मेरी क्या आएगी, रजिस्टिविटी आएगी। जैसे एक एग्जांपल देता हूं, मुझे वाटर लेवल कैलकुलेट करना है
यस सर।
कि वाटर लेवल कितना है, तो वहां पर मैं आईआर से भी कर सकता हूँ। जैसे आईआर सेंसर से मैं कैलकुलेट कर सकता हूँ डिस्टेंस कितनी है, ठीक है। बट अगर यही काम अगर
यस
मैं
सर।
रजिस्टिविटी से
यस।
करूँ, तो मुझे पता लग जाएगा कि जैसे सपोज मैंने एक स्ट्रिप लगा दी, और स्ट्रिप से अगर मैं कैलकुलेट करूँ कि इसका रेजिस्टेंस कितना कम ज्यादा हो रहा है, तो उससे मैं इजीली आइडेंटिफाई कर सकता हूँ कि एक्यूरेटली कि इसका लेवल कितना है, ठीक है। तो वहां यूज में आता है
मेजर कर
आवाज
सर,
तुम्हारी लैप्स हो गई बेटा,
IR
आवाज लैप्स हो गई,
सेंसर को मेजर कर सकता है।
आवाज लैप्स हो गई
हेलो
बेटा, वापस रिपीट करो, शायद
हेलो
नेटवर्क। हाँ, हेलो विकास बोलो।
सर IR सेंसर डिस्टेंस को मेजर कर सकता है।
कर सकता है बेटा आईआर सेंसर डिस्टेंस को मेजर, मगर डिस्टेंस काफी स्मॉल होनी चाहिए। भाई मुझे एक चीज
यस
बताओ,
सर।
तुम्हारा आईआर
लेकिन
सेंसर बेसिकली ऑब्जेक्ट को
सर
डिटेक्ट कर रहा है। तुम्हारी आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही बेटा।